everybody. Thank you for coming. This is a bittersweet day for the Hammonds and also us as their lawyers. We're happy it's this one chapter has ended. Angie and Paul are going to speak as to how they feel and all the thanks that they want to give. I want to give thanks to the media, specifically to a number of people that are here. Zachary Hammond, Andy Gaither, Ron Burnett, Mike Ellis, Carlos from the Seneca Journal. This story could not have unfolded without the media, without the dedication that you guys gave to uncovering the facts. When it started, and we were retained, it was just one news story, and it became an absolute brush fire that started, and the flame never stopped. It's because the dedication of the reporters in this story who wanted to get to the truth. And there's a lot of lessons that can be learned from what happened that night on July 26th for young people. Teenagers in a car, police asked you to stop, stop. Police officers, those brave police officers that every day carry the gun and do the hard work. Remember that when you do come up on a car, there's somebody's son or daughter in the car, there's a husband or wife, and before you make that decision to use the force that the law gives you to use, maybe think twice. It's been a very, very long road. As I said, we came from a point where Chief Covington called Lieutenant Tiller a victim of attempted murder, to having to fight to find out the identity of Lieutenant Tiller, to get the dash cam video released, to bringing a civil lawsuit, to fighting motions to have Lieutenant Tiller deposed, to the day when we have a settlement. And that's what we do as lawyers. We try to seek justice, and that's the only justice that we can seek. So with that said, I would like to turn it over to the people who really do matter, and that is Angie and Paul, and for Angie to give a brief statement and to answer any questions, and I may answer some questions, but it's really their day. But I also want to thank you guys for the hard work that you did a great job.
Hey guys.
Get closer.
Can you hear me?
There, you're going to have to hold the paper away from the mic, Steve.
The last 8 months have been the hardest and most trying times of our lives. The settlement reached today is bittersweet. It will not bring Zach back, but it will bring about change. Zach's death is not in vain. We already have a dash cam bill going before the Senate. Greenville has changed their use of force policy, and there is still an ongoing federal investigation. No parent should ever have to investigate their child's death, and we will continue to work hard so that it doesn't happen again. Zach's life is precious, as is every life. Not only was it precious to us, his life was precious to his brother, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and friends. That is something that is quickly going away in this world. People seem dispensable and their life meaningless. We would like to thank a few people today as well. First, we want to give thanks to God for his comfort, strength, and unconditional love. Our faith has gotten us through a very hard time in our life, and we would not have come this far without him. A big thank you goes to my sister Kim and her husband Tom, who have been by our side from day one. We could not have asked for a better advocate. Also to the rest of our family who have given their unwavering support. Thanks to our legal team for their hard work and dedication to finding the truth. We couldn't have done it without them. also like to thank Senators Martin and Davis, Representatives Rutherford and Pitts, and others that have supported our efforts. And lastly, we want to thank Tracy Fant and those who gave their love and support. Continue to keep us in your prayers. Our grief doesn't end here. We still have a long and hard journey ahead of us. Thank you.
Y'all have any questions?
Talk to me, if you can, about why settle? Obviously, this has been a long fight. So, what got to the point where you decided to settle?
Well, lawyers, we do this for a living. We do this for a business. We're in court in and out for years on end. But for regular people that this is so new to, the prospect of multi-year litigation that can go to a jury trial and depending on the verdict can be appealed, and different rulings along the way can be appealed, which would go to the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in Richmond, Virginia, and then possibly to the Supreme Court because of the constitutional issues. They made the decision they didn't want to live in litigation for years, and this, is a significant amount of money. $2,150,000 is. It's a strong statement. It's a strong statement to all sides, to the public, as to what occurred. Because especially since the town of Seneca has to pay $250,000 of that settlement, the state of South Carolina, through their insurance policy, has to pay an amount, and there was an additional amount that comprised of $2.15 million. So, as lawyers, we litigate hard, but at the right time, you have to make a decision what's best for the family and what is justice. I think there's been a lot of justice that's taken place so far in this case, and it hasn't ended. I mean, the settlement's one part of justice, the dash cam video being released, the bills that Angie talked about, the police departments changing their use of force policy. There's a federal grand jury that's been seated since August in this case, and the public only found out about that because it was released by Lieutenant Tiller's own attorneys when he made a motion to try to stop his deposition from taking place. So everything in life is about timing, and I think the reason the case settled now was the timing was right. Lieutenant Tiller was about to be deposed. He would have to make a decision whether he would take the Fifth Amendment or not. That's obviously a strong decision. And last week the judge made a ruling that we think was a very pivotal ruling, which is the emails between the Seneca PD and the town of Seneca and the public relations firm that they hired in those redactions. The judge ordered they had to be released to the public, that they are not subject to the attorney-client privilege defense. And so I think you don't have to be Fellini to figure out that some things in those emails may have been damaging to the defense case. And so everything's about timing, and we went to a mediation and the case was resolved. And I think the right amount of dollars is ultimately going to be paid in this case. It's kind of commensurate with other type shootings throughout the country that have taken place. They would never trade their dollars for their son, but they have to get justice, and this is how we define justice from a civil standpoint in our society. Angie, you can speak to it. Paul, you want to speak to that?
This brings the end of this chapter, and it's something we need to do to get on with our life. We have a son who needs our attention right now, and we want to make sure we give out all of our attention to him. And we just felt like it was time to bring an end to this chapter and see what else comes forward.
Do you feel, Hammond, that with the settlement, the city has taken responsibility, or do you feel like they just did this to kind of move on?
I can't speak for the city.
Have they spoken to you at all? No statement as a result of this settlement?
Well, there was a joint statement that we released yesterday that was from our side as well as the city side. I mean, ultimately it's going to be the citizens of Seneca that are going to have to speak up and ask the hard questions of their city administrator, their mayor, their police chief. This is a significant event with a significant result, and results have consequences, and so we'll see how the months unfold. I mean, I'm sure right now they're focused on what is the federal government doing, what is that federal grand jury doing, and so, you know, we were the beneficiary of that, and I think they didn't want to be sidetracked by this litigation at the same time.
Do you know what the latest in that federal investigation is, or is it just kind of wait and see?
No, it's not wait and see. I mean, obviously they don't keep us advised, but according to what was filed with the court and what is being told publicly, I mean, grand jury subpoenas are issued as we're speaking. People are appearing before a grand jury. I mean, the federal government is spending significant dollars on a grand jury to be seated for 6 months on end. The Department of Justice is involved, and Bill Nettles and his staff are involved, so they're taking it very seriously, as it should be taken.
Do you anticipate that Mrs. Hammond will be deposed?
Well, they won't be deposed because there's no more civil litigation. I don't think they have a role in front of the grand jury, but I don't know. I'm not the one that's presenting the case. Ultimately, if there are charges brought, somebody may try to question Mr. and Mrs. Hammond in a legal context, but right now there is no more civil litigation. These folks can heal, they can move on with their life, they can get me out of their life. That's the way it should be.
Did they approach you about settling, or was it just a come together at the same time thing?
It's kind of an organic thing in a civil lawsuit. I mean, you have a scheduling order that, you know, certain dates have to take place, but usually when you have seasoned attorneys like there were, by the way, the town of Seneca and Lieutenant Tiller in particular, Drew Butler from Richardson Cloud is a phenomenal lawyer who kind of marshaled the defense side. And when you have different rulings that have different implications, I mean, the real big thing was if Lieutenant Tiller had to be put under oath in a deposition, have to make that decision: do I answer questions or do I take my Fifth Amendment right? Those are serious things, and so when you have those kind of serious things, that's when lawyers start to pause and the guts start to check and say, maybe we should start talking.
So is that what he did?
I think so.
He got in touch with you and said, we're interested in settling?
No, I didn't think, it wasn't that they were interested in settling, but good lawyers talk, and the bad results happen when lawyers for both sides don't have a level of communication, and we had a level of communication, and there's risk on all sides. I mean, you know, if the Hammonds pass up the opportunity to settle a case and put it behind them, and it cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in experts. I mean, we had excessive force experts, police procedure experts, experts that were dissecting the video and audio, animation experts that you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars have been laid out. And you go to a jury of 12 people and they could look at something differently than what we're looking at. So life's about hedging risk, and we hedge the risk.
You mentioned that deposition is not going to happen, but what about those emails? Do you have those in your possession?
We don't. You know, certainly the media, now that a judge has ruled they're not attorney-client privilege, I would think somebody would be doing a FOIA real quick, since the city of Seneca paid that firm, according to them, you know, $5,000 a month. So we're hopeful that the media is going to continue to do their job and get a hold of those non-privileged emails.
Well, were there any stipulations in the settlement that restrict any type of writing a book about this, or?
No, you can't when you're. One, we wouldn't have done it because it's an issue of great public concern. But two, when it's a public entity, you have to have sunlight. And so the only stipulation was that we would do a joint statement, and that's it.
If you had been able to do the deposition with Lieutenant Tiller, did you have questions you think would have brought out new information that hasn't been available before?
Yes.
Shed light?
Yes. We were fully prepared to do our job, and it would have been very surprising if Lieutenant Tiller answered our questions and didn't take the Fifth Amendment.
Mr. and Mrs. Hammond, you know, during the course of this whole endeavor, I mean, I'm sure there have been low points and maybe some inspirational moments. Could you, you know, share with us what it's been like? these 9 months?
Just like you said, very low points. You know, when
The video.
the video wasn't released, when they said that Tiller was, you know, a victim of attempted murder, when they said he was shot from the front, when they said he tried to run over, those were very low points in our lives.
And when you saw
And
the
we
video,
didn't know it, we knew it was not true. And we had to find the truth. And thank goodness that the video finally came out, because it just showed exactly what we knew to be true. So that was if you want to call that a high point, that could have been one, just because it actually told the truth. It's something that we already knew.
Okay, what's next for you? What's next?
We have another son who will be graduating high school and going to college, and we have to focus on him, which we really haven't been able to do, you know, totally, and that hasn't been fair to him, you know. So we want to make up for lost time.
How do you feel like y'all are able to move on, you know, from this? Because this not only changed your life, but it took up so much of the past 8 months. You know, how do you feel like you can move on past this?
Well, we live a new normal, you know, and it'll never go back to the way it was. But, you know, for Dylan's sake, we have to be as normal as possible. And we'll never forget that. Never. But, I don't know, we just have to continue on and pray hard, and we'll get through it.
Every day is a battle. It'll be that way for the rest of our lives. And we're always going to think about Zach. That's never going to go away. As I told my wife today, I told her, it's like I've lost a third of my heart. It's now with Zach. I have 2/3 left. That's why I'm struggling so much. A third of it belongs to her, and a third belongs to my other son, Dylan. And we just got to keep going somehow. I got to keep going for them.
What has the settlement brought you emotionally?
I've really, it's just the end of a chapter. I hope, you know, at least it brings some kind of change.
We know Zach's death wasn't in vain, so we'll just keep fighting and, you know, hoping that that change does happen. So we don't want this to happen to anyone else. Nobody wants to lose their loved one.
There are lots of Zachs and Dylans out there. What would you tell them?
Well, the first thing is just with anybody. If an officer does tell you to stop, stop. You know, that was her. And you know, in addition to that, you know, for police officers, they need to think too about taking somebody's life, because it changes. Not only has it changed our life, I mean, it's changed his life as well, and his family, and you know, officials in the city. I mean, our whole community has been changed. So, you know, everybody just needs to think about life more than we do. It's not indispensable. It really means something. And I think that we've gotten away from that.
I could ask about the $2.1 million. We know Seneca raised $250,000 last week. You know, how much is going to the law firms, to the family, where the money comes from the city? How's that breaking down?
well, we don't talk about the agreements that we have between the clients, but there's a $2,150,000 total settlement. The city of Seneca is paying $250,000 from their own funds, from their general funds. I think they're going to be releasing a statement today, because there's been some questions from the Seneca residents whether taxes are going to have to state municipal insurance reserve fund called SMERF, and they insure all certain towns and police departments throughout our state that aren't self-insured. I mean, the city of Greenville obviously is a big municipality, but the town of Seneca has 8,100 people, and so there's a $1 million insurance policy that insures towns, police officers, police departments. And so the municipal insurance reserve fund is paying their full insurance policy plus another $900,000 for a total of $2,150,000. And the court, Judge Lewis's court, where this case is pending, is going to have to approve it because there's a wrongful death component and a survival component. The wrongful death component is the loss that Angie and Paul have suffered as a result of their son, losing their son, and there's a survival component which Zachary himself owned that claim because after he was shot or when his rights were violated, he has a certain cause of action, and so the court allocates the money between those two causes of action. It's distributed to Angie and Paul, who are the personal representatives appointed by the probate court, and then there's an attorney's fee component, obviously, and that's how it's done in civil litigation.
Can anything change at this point? I saw the order gives 60 days. I forgot exactly what it said.
That's called a Rubin order, where the court takes the case off their docket. We'll make our motion probably within the next 2 weeks. The settlement documents are being drafted right now, and the parties will make the motion. We'll go before the court, and then the court will hear from the attorneys. And it's 99 times out of 100 they approve it, but judges have to make their decision quickly. The monetary amount will not change, and the people who are paying it will not change. And the attorneys involved, we've all done this many, many years, so for all intents and purposes, this case is concluded.
You had mentioned no stipulations earlier. Does that mean, I think you had also mentioned the use of force, that thing that already predated this agreement, but any changes in city policy or policing policy?
Well, that was a use of force change that Greenville County made. And I don't think it's something new. I think all police officers have been trained to use deadly force only as their last choice and not their first choice. But Greenville was very specific in that you cannot shoot into moving cars unless under extreme circumstances, and an officer must use all reasonable means before they use excessive force, such as, can I retreat? Should I go back? Should I call be on the lookout? Should I set up a roadblock before they use excessive force? So I think change is coming. It's happened quickly in this case, but it'll be incrementally. And again, police officers are brave people. They do a great job. They have a difficult job. It's very stressful for them and dangerous for them to come into situations that could exist on a daily basis. So this is not a condemnation against police at all. We're strong supporters of the police. We're strong conservative people. We're all Republicans here at this platform. So we're law and order people, but sometimes things are done wrong and people have to answer for it. That's it. Thank you.